Good evening, everybody, and welcome to LATKEPALOOZA this year. Thank you all for joining from your homes. My name is Mark Rouse. I'm the Rabbi of Temple Emmanuel at the Oceanfront, and it's my honor to be the, facilitator, master of ceremony, something like that this year. Here's a few housekeeping rules. There are two ways to view this program: a speaker view, where you'll only see the speaker, and what we've come to call the Brady Bunch view, by which we mean gallery view. That's the label, gallery view or speaker view, which is where you can see many people on the screen at once. I'd recommend that for the candle lighting. We suggest choosing speaker view for today for most of the program. If you're on a computer, you can find it in the upper right-hand side of your screen. If you're on a phone, you'll see it on the bottom right. Please make sure to keep yourself muted unless you're one of the people who's going to be speaking, in which case we'll call on you and ask you to speak. This program is being brought to us today by PJ Library in Tidewater as part of the Lee and Bernard Jaffe Book Festival, in partnership with the Konikoff Center for Learning at the United Jewish Federation of Tidewater and PJ Library and PJ Our Way in Tidewater. This is the darkest time of the year, and on Hanukkah, we celebrate our freedom to live as Jews and bring a little light to that darkness. So, with no further ado, I would love to, it is my honor to introduce our guest for this evening, author Erica Perl. From picture books and novels to plays and articles, Erica can write it all. Erica's books have received accolades and awards, including the National Jewish Book Award and the Sidney Taylor Silver Medal. They've also landed on the State Book Award lists, Best Book lists, and library lists. Erica's author visits have been described as educational, engaging, and empowering. This may be because she has a theatre background and a law degree, but it also could be because she has a license to drive an ice cream truck. So, with no further ado, I'd love to hand over to Erica.
Thank you so much. Can everyone hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can? Wonderful. And I love that, in addition, I'm wearing my Hanukkah headdress, but I see some dreidel dilly boppers, which are awesome. So thanks for coming all dressed up for LATKEPALOOZA. I'm so excited. Thank you so much to the United Jewish Federation of Tidewater and PJ Library for bringing me here today. I live not so far from you guys. I live in Washington, D.C., but obviously, I see something that lit up like a cake. Wow, people are showing me all sorts of cool things in their homes. I'll try not to get distracted. Cake is pretty distracting. But as I said, I live not that far from you, but obviously I cannot come in person. And so this is the next best thing. And I'm thrilled to be zooming into Tidewater and Virginia Beach area to talk about the Ninth Night of Hanukkah. Oh, and I see some people have the book here tonight. Yay, thumbs up. But if you don't, that's fine. You'll get acquainted with it. But I'll bet when you first heard about the Ninth Night of Hanukkah, some of you may have said, now wait a second. There are not 9 nights of Hanukkah. You cannot pull a fast one on me. How many nights of Hanukkah are there, guys? Show me fingers. Show me fingers. How many nights of Hanukkah? I see a lot of fingers. I think there might be like 5 and 3, which makes, yes. I see the rabbi is trying to. He's doing it with the 4 and 4. That works also. 8 nights of Hanukkah. Yeah, not 9. Okay, fine. Traditionally, yes, there are only 8 nights of Hanukkah. But check this out, you guys. I happen to have a Hanukkah right here, a Hanukkah menorah. And so we are going to count the candles. You ready? Count with me. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles. 9 candles. Okay? So maybe there's something to this whole 9 thing, you know? And actually, that is how the book got started. One year on Hanukkah, one of my daughters, I don't remember which one, I have 2 daughters, one of them said to me while we were lighting the candles, they said, Mom, why is it that we have this very special candle that stands taller than the rest? We call it the Shamash or the Shamash. And this candle works so hard night after night. Oh, well, I see so many beautiful Hanukkahs. This is awesome. So every night, the Shamash is going and working and lighting up its neighbors and helping out everybody and making sure everybody has a flame and taking care of the others and doing such hard work. It's exhausting being the Shamash. And then Hanukkah all of a sudden ends. And we never have this moment where we say thank you to this candle who worked so hard and helped so many. And I said to my daughter, that actually makes a lot of sense. And so I started working on a book about it. And that's the book I'm going to share with you guys tonight, The Ninth Night of Hanukkah. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to share my screen. I want to show you some other things about my writing in general. And then we'll read the book together. And then I'll come back so we can talk about it a little bit. Okay? So let me do that. All right. Okay, so this is me, as you can see. And these are some of my books. And these are some of the books that I've written that are picture books. So these are books where I wrote the words and then I worked with some wonderful illustrators who drew the pictures. Now, I will tell you guys that I do love to draw. I haven't done any of the pictures for my books so far, but I do draw all the time because for me, it's one of the ways that I get my ideas flowing. So if you are the kind of person who likes to draw pictures, I think that's awesome because there are all sorts of ways to get ideas across, sometimes in pictures, sometimes with words, sometimes with both. So I also write chapter books and novels. Some of them have pictures and some don't. Most of my books are funny. Most of my books have animals. And most of my books are fiction, but I have some nonfiction books, like the Truth or Lies series is nonfiction, or I should say mostly nonfiction, because there are lies in it on purpose. So these are some of the different books that I've written. You may know some of them. When Life Gives You OJ and Aces Wild are both PJ Arway books. And there was also a Craftily Ever After book was a PJ Library book as well. And I want to start out by telling you kind of how I got started being a writer, because I was not born with a pencil in my hand. I had a lot of help on the way. And so I want to introduce you to my first teachers. These are my first teachers that you see before you. I call them Mom and Dad. Dad is the one with the mustache. Now, my parents, who you see here, are both teachers, and they are wearing in this picture their crossword puzzle pajamas. Yes, because my parents love words. My parents love words so much that, as you can see, they sleep in crossword puzzle pajamas. And when they get up in the morning, they read the newspaper, and they do the crossword puzzle, and then they read books, and as when I was a kid, we would go to the library all the time, and we would talk about the books we were reading. And I was really, really lucky, because I grew up in a house that was just full of words. And so I became a really big reader. And I am, as you can see, I'm in my office right now. I'm surrounded by books. I love books and I read all the time. And being a reader and being a writer, they kind of go hand in hand. So my parents helped me get started. But there was someone else who was a big, big influence on my becoming a writer. And that was Big Bird. That's right, Big Bird from Sesame Street. So I'm in this picture. I'm the one with the bow on my head. I was about 5 years old when the picture was taken. And that's my little brother next to me with the striped shirt. And in between us, as you can see, is Big Bird. And I got to meet Big Bird because I went to work with my aunt. And when we got to her office, there was Big Bird, and there was Cookie Monster, and there was Oscar the Grouch, and all those guys. And I was like, whoa, we're on Sesame Street. What is it that you do for a job anyway? And I found out that my Aunt Em was a writer for Sesame Street. That was her job. And I have to tell you that kind of blew my little mind, because I did not know that was a job. I always thought when you watch Sesame Street, maybe you guys feel this way, I would turn it on and it was just like, reality TV. I would see what they were up to that day, what Big Bird was doing and what Oscar the Grouch was saying. And it never occurred to me that there was someone who wrote those stories. And I started thinking about this. Like I said, I grew up in a house full of words, and then there was this job where you could send words out into the world. You could write books, you could write scripts, you could write songs, you could write all sorts of things that would go beyond the walls of your house and connect with people all over the world. So I asked my aunt how you could get this amazing job and tell stories for a living. And she told me that she found out about this job from another relative of ours, and that was my great uncle Arnold. So my great uncle Arnold was a writer as well, and he wrote all sorts of different things, including plays. And so as you can see here, some of his plays were based on the work of another writer guy named Sholem Aleichem. And so Sholem Aleichem wrote a bunch of stories about a guy named Tevye the Milkman, and Uncle Arnold turned those into plays. And then those plays got turned into a musical that you may know called Fiddler on the Roof. And so anytime you see Fiddler on the Roof, you will see in the little footnotes that it is based on the plays of Arnold Perl. So I said to my Aunt Emily, this is wonderful. Like Uncle Arnold, he clearly gave you the secret, and you're going to give me the secret, and then I can just become a writer magically. Like, is there some sort of a wand I might receive? Are there owls involved? Is someone gonna like appear on my doorstep? And she said, no owls, no magic wand. But the way you get to be a writer, she told me, and the cool part is that you don't have to be related to a writer at all. Like you guys right now, I'm passing the secret on to you, and you guys can all go out and be writers, and there's plenty of room because we can all be writers because we all have the tools. We all have these amazing brains and imaginations, and we all have stories to tell. And everybody's stories are different. And so Uncle Arnold told Aunt Emily the way to become a writer was by writing. And she told me the same thing. And so I had to sit down and get started writing, even though I was pretty little. And so she gave me a blank book, and I began to fill it with stories. And that book is actually sitting next to me on my desk today, and I will show it to you. It's right here. There's one copy. It is called The Bear's Christmas and Other Stories, and it's the first book I ever wrote. And I think it's kind of funny now when I look back because I'm Jewish, and my family doesn't celebrate Christmas. So I'm not really sure why I thought I was such an authority on Christmas. I, as you can see from the cover, could not spell Christmas. But, yes, I spelled, yeah, that's not how you spell Christmas. But I really wanted to write about things that were interesting to me, and I liked animals, and a lot of my friends had Christmas, and so I just started filling up the book with stories about different animals and their lives. And I filled up the whole book with all sorts of pictures and words, and just kept going and going and going until I finished writing in the book. And I had that wonderful satisfaction of, I wrote a book. I bet some of you guys have done that, and it is a pretty cool feeling. And so I kept doing it. I kept filling notebooks, and I still do that to this day. I'm looking around to see if I've got a notebook handy, maybe not. Oh, here's one. So I still get up every morning, and I write in my notebook, okay? And sometimes I do it with words, as you can see, and sometimes I do it with pictures. Because pictures, as I said earlier, are how I get my ideas flowing. And I just get up and I get started like that, and everything that lands in the journal has the potential to be something. Not everything is a great idea, but if you grab every single idea that comes along and you put it in the journal, some of them might become books. And one of them might turn into a book like The Ninth Night of Hanukkah, which is the book we're going to read tonight. So let's get started reading The Ninth Night of Hanukkah. As I said, this is a book that I wrote, and it's illustrated by Shahar Kober. Shahar Kober is an illustrator who lives in Israel. He made the beautiful pictures in this book. And so as you can see in the very beginning of The Ninth Night of Hanukkah, this is about a family that has just moved to a new home, which is something that I've done several times. And when you move to a new home, I will tell you from experience, you find yourself surrounded by boxes. Lots and lots and lots of boxes. And that's the case in this household too. So we start out with the family surrounded by boxes. And it starts out on the first night of Hanukkah. So you guys give me one finger for the first night of Hanukkah. On the first night of Hanukkah, Mom couldn't find the menorah. Special delivery, said Dad, arriving with pizza, that traditional Hanukkah food, pizza. Max and Rachel looked at each other. No menorah? No latkes? This is going to be the worst Hanukkah ever. It's just for tonight, said Mom. I'm sure we'll find our Hanukkah things tomorrow. Exhausted from unpacking, the family sat down to dinner in their new apartment. As you can see, they've unpacked some things, but they have not yet unpacked their table or chairs. They are sitting on the floor. Well, it was nice. They're all together. They're in their new home. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. Can you guys say that with me together? You don't have to unmute or anything. You just say, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. And we're going to hear that a couple times, so each time it comes around, say it with me. Well, on the second night, give me two fingers, the missing menorah still hadn't turned up. Should we go to the store? Asked Max. No, we'll find it soon, said Rachel. Besides, I have an idea for tonight. Rachel, as you can see, made a beautiful menorah, and I'll bet some of you guys have made menorahs too. It's kind of fun to make a homemade menorah. Max helped her decorate it. But when it came time to light the candles, Mom realized she packed them with the menorah, which means they're still missing too. Now should we go to the store? Asked Max. Mom checked her watch and shook her head. Everything's probably closed by now. Max and Rachel convinced Mom to let them ask one neighbor. They knocked on 2C right next door and explained the situation to Mrs. Mendez. Would these work? She asked. And she's holding out a box, but it's not a box of Hanukkah candles. It's actually a box of birthday candles. Maybe, said Rachel. I mean, why not? They don't have anything else to use. So they take them home. Dad lit the Shamash, the teeny tiny birthday candle Shamash. Max and Rachel each used it to light a candle. Then Max and Rachel both got presents. It was nice. Say it with me, you guys, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. On the third night, Dad offered to make latkes. He just needed to find his lucky latke pan. As Dad searched through box after box, Max followed his nose downstairs. What is that terrific smell? To 1B, where he met Joe, the super. The super is like the building helper, the superintendent. Welcome to the building, said Joe. Need anything? Let me know. Anything? Asked Max, eyeing the steaming platter. What does Joe have there, you guys? Looks like French fries to me. Joe happily shared. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. I mean, French fries are yummy, but they're not quite latkes, are they? French fries, latkes, both fried potato, but not exactly the same. Well, on the fourth night, Max said, let's play dreidel. One problem, no dreidel. I'm beginning to think one of our boxes got lost, said Dad. So Mom called the moving company, and Max and Rachel set out to find a dreidel. The Watson twins, who lived upstairs in 3B, didn't have one, but they did have a toy that could spin and spin. Look at Max trying it out. He's playing with their hula hoop. Woo! Well, it was nice. Kind of fun. You got a hula hoop to play with. But it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. A hula hoop and a dreidel, they do both spin, but that's about where the similarities end, don't you think? Oh well. On the fifth night, Max and Rachel figured out a way to play dreidel. They made a giant dreidel out of an umbrella and part of a cardboard box. And it looks like they got it to spin. Nice job. Kind of scaring their cat, but you know. Well, if they have a new dreidel, they need gelt. No chocolate coins, but I do have these, said Mr. Patel in 4A. Mr. Patel has a tiny little sleeping baby and a bag of chocolate chips. Chocolate chips, chocolate gelt. Well, it was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. On the sixth night, Rachel wanted to have a Hanukkah sing-along, but Mom's guitar still hadn't arrived. Gigi has one, shouted the Watson twins, running up to 5C. It turned out they were almost right. Gigi has a ukulele, and I have it on good authority that Rabbi Mark has a ukulele too. So we might get some ukulele Hanukkah tunes later if we play our cards right. Yeah, kind of like a guitar. Mom taught Gigi the chords to Rock of Ages, and everyone sang. It was nice, but it didn't, say it with me, feel quite like Hanukkah. Not quite. On the seventh night, Max and Rachel discovered they were missing something else. How do you wrap a present without wrapping paper? On their way outside, they saw Dr. Lee reading in the lobby. When they asked him where to buy wrapping paper, he handed them the comics from his newspaper. Try using these, suggested Dr. Lee. So they did. They wrapped up the presents for their parents in newspaper comics. Why not? It was nice, but it still didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. Well, on the 8th night, Max realized what their Hanukkah needed. Jelly donuts. Sufganiyot. It took knocking on several doors, but Max finally got his jelly from the twins' mom in 3B. Just not in donut form. Looks like Max and Rachel got peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Well, that was nice, said Rachel as they walked downstairs. Max took a big bite. Okay, guys, take a big peanut butter and jelly sandwich bite with me. And now we have to talk like we have our mouths full of peanut butter. And finished her thought. Well, the next morning, there was a knock at the door. Special delivery. Only this time it wasn't Dad or pizza. And it wasn't the long-lost box. Look what it is. It's Mom's guitar. It finally arrived. Let's have a Hanukkah sing-along tonight, suggested Mom. Last night was the 8th night, Rachel reminded her. It won't be Hanukkah anymore. Maybe it should be, said Max, pointing at the menorah. 9 candles, 9 nights. Rachel's eyes lit up. She whispered to Max. Max whispered back. And together they developed a plan. With a box of candles and a box of crayons, they set it in motion. What do you guys think they're doing? It looks like they're making little cards and drawing on them and taping candles to them. I wonder why. Well, that evening, Max and Rachel waited and waited. Maybe this isn't going to work, said Max. It'll work, said Rachel, sounding more confident than she felt. So they waited and waited and waited. Just then there was a knock at the door. And another and another. Look, it's all their neighbors. All their neighbors carrying... Oh, you guys, it's invitations. They're carrying invitations which have candles taped to them. Max and Rachel thanked them all for coming. Then they explained the reason for their Shamash night celebration. For 8 nights of Hanukkah, the Shamash helps light the other candles, said Max. Like all of you helped us, added Rachel. So we wanted to say thanks to the Shamash and to you. Just then, a voice called out from the back of the line of guests. Special delivery! What could it be? The missing box, said Mom. Now that's what I call a miracle, said Dad. In the box, Max and Rachel found their family menorah, Hanukkah candles, Dad's lucky latke pan, dreidels and gelt, wrapping paper, and Aunt Edith's recipe for jelly donuts. So, on the 9th night, in their new home, Max and Rachel and their new friends talked and laughed, ate and played games, sang and danced by the light of many candles. It was nice, really, really nice. And best of all, it felt exactly like Hanukkah. The end. Thank you, guys. Thank you for helping. I'm gonna pause right here and come back. Thank you for helping with the book. It was very fun to read it together. So I'm gonna ask you guys I have some questions for you guys. First, I'm gonna ask some questions to you, and then at the end, I'd love to hear questions from you that you have for me. But my questions for you, you can answer either by raising your hand, and we'll try and call on you. Maybe the people at the United Federation of Tidewater can help me to pick on people, or you can put them in the chat. Okay? So my question for you is, like, can we do this thing? Like, who should we do this? If we're going to have a 9th night of Hanukkah, who are the helpers in our life that deserve thanking? Do you guys have helpers in your life? Because I kind of feel like my theory is that the Shamash candle is sort of like a superhero, right? And so join me, if you will, in putting on our superhero capes. Can you guys do that? I have one here, but if you don't have one, you can just go like this, okay? So ready? Let's put on our superhero capes. Everybody put on their superhero capes. Very good. Okay, so now we're all superheroes together. We're going to talk about helping. Okay, so who are the superhero helpers, the super Shamash in your life? Who's helping you out? I see hands. Can I get some help from the organizers here? Can you guys help call on people?
How about Omri? You're unmuted.
My helper in my life is my best friend, Ella.
Your best friend, Ella.
My mom, my dad, and my little sister.
Okay, you've got a lot of helpers, so I'm like, lots of thumbs up for you. So I'm gonna start off here. I have created this board here, which is a menorah, and as you can see at the top, there's Super Shamash. But then we have all these candles that need to get lit, and so I'm gonna light candles for all these different people that we're naming off. So far I've heard moms and dads, definitely, right? And then we've got friends, and you got your sister or siblings. Okay, so those are 3 excellent categories. Yes, and I saw in the chat, I see grandparents. The Harrell family has said grandparents, so I think we should definitely add grandparents here. Okay, let me write some of these things down. Grandparents. Parents. Siblings. Friends. Who else? Who else helps us out? Let's see. Okay, I've got Ella and Jack. Ella and Jack, can you guys unmute and tell us?
Our parents.
Your parents, definitely. Okay, so we're going to light the parents' candle.
And Omri and Arvel, my friends.
And friends, definitely. Okay, awesome. Thank you, guys. This is great. I see. Okay, so I've got a couple in the comments that I'm going to share. And then who else had their hands up? Some people. Yes, Yael and Noam.
So I think like doctors, firefighters, police.
Excellent. Okay, so like first responder type people. Yep. Okay, let's give them some candles. Yes, we got doctors and firefighters and police and people like that who are helping in our communities. Really good. And I see so many people in the chat are talking about that. Doctors, healthcare workers, teachers. Oh, teachers in all caps. And I agree with that. Teachers are doing so much helping right now. They are helping in all sorts of new ways, and they're being so patient, and they're being so amazingly creative. So teachers, absolutely. I also saw pets in the chat, which I think is a really, really good one. So let's add pets too, because my pets, I don't know if you guys saw my dogs coming and going during this, but my pets are definitely helping me out. Dogs and guinea pigs in our house are very, very helpful. Yes. Okay. Any other helpers that we can think of? Okay, I got a question for you guys. Since you're wearing your capes already, coworkers definitely. Let's add them. See, coworkers, yep, absolutely. My boss at work, bosses. Really nice when bosses are helpers too. Yeah. You guys have some great helpers, and you're like, okay, so here's my next question. My next question is, you guys are wearing superhero capes with me. Who are we? Like, we're super helpers. What are we doing to help? What are you guys doing to be a superhero helper? Let's hear some things. Okay. Who has not shared with us yet? Someone who is new. I see Lisa Walker is the name on my screen. Unmute and tell me, who are you helping?
That's Abby.
Okay, hi Abby.
Click on mute.
So who helps me is my mom and my dad.
Thumb up for mom, thumb up for dad. And what about you? Are you doing some helping? I'll bet you are. How do you help?
I help by cleaning up.
Cleaning up. Such a good way to help. Virtual high five for cleaning up. Virtual high five. Woo! And I also see someone has put in the chat, not littering, an excellent way to help. I got another one. I do this every day. I put on my mask when I go outside. That's the way I help. It's like a little thing you can do. You just put it on and you're good to go. Yeah, so we're all helpers in that way. Who else has a way that they help? Okay, let's see. I see. Okay, the Loutman family?
Okay, go ahead, Grayson. Grayson says he unloads the dishwasher, but suddenly he's on camera and nervous to say it.
Understandable. I feel that way too when I get on camera, but unloading the dishwasher, a huge help. Could you just come over to my house? Because we got a full dishwasher and you seem like the man for the job. All right, think about it. Think about it. That's a great way to help. Okay, Ella and Jack, you guys got more? And then you yell and Noah after.
I help by staying 6 feet apart and social distancing.
Social distancing. Thumbs up. That is another amazing way to help. Like, we all got to do it. We all got to do it because that's how we're going to get through this thing. Okay, wait, I'm trying to remember. Yael and Noam had their hands up, and then I see Omri and Arbel after. So one at a time, please. Yes. Yael and Noam, what do you guys do? How do you help?
So to be kind to other people and help others when they need.
Excellent. Those are awesome. Everyone, a round of applause. That is very awesome. Such good ways to help. That's excellent. Okay, so I see Omri and Arbel. You guys want to unmute? And if I'm missing anybody, please, someone who's organizing, help me spot people. So how do you guys help?
So how I help out is I make sure not to touch too many people. If it's my friends and I know I can touch them.
Good.
Like Ella goes to my school and Yael goes. So
it sounds like you're doing a lot of paying
Ella's
attention.
my best friend, so I know I can hug her at one time.
Right. So you pay attention to the rules about who's huggable and who's not and where you have to stand and you think about that stuff before you go and do whatever. That thinking ahead is really helpful. Absolutely. Other suggestions of ways in which we help and things that we do to help? Jack has one. Jack, you want to toss it in there?
I help by cleaning up after myself.
Awesome. That is great helping. That is so good. That is really, really what we need from everybody. And I see someone else has added in the chat, help with a fundraiser, because a lot of people right now could use our help. And so raising money for worthy causes is really, really helpful right now. Just to really think about those who don't have as much as we do and ways that we can help by pitching in. Absolutely super helpful. You guys, this is really great. Well, so let me show you, I'm going to show you a couple more things. And then after I do, I'll come back. And then I would like to hear any questions you have for me, because I'm here to answer questions, either about the Ninth Night of Hanukkah or about being a writer or anything in general. So let me show you a couple more things. I will share my screen again. Okay. Da-da-da. Okay. Now, we've finished off on this beautiful page of this lovely page of the party, which I wish were in my house right now. Unfortunately, this book obviously takes place before 2020 because we can't have a party like this, so we have to have our parties online. But last year, I will show you guys, last year at my temple in Washington, D.C., we were able to have a Shamash night party. And so I want to show you a couple of pictures from that because that was in the before times. And so that's why you will see people not wearing masks. I know it's strange, but I'll show you a couple of pictures. And in the book, at the back of the book, there's suggestions of how you can do Shamash night now, even though we have to do things a little differently this year. Okay, so take a look. We all got together, unmasked, and had a sing-along. Crazy, I know. So we did that in 2019, and we all made lists of all the helpers in our lives. Many kids like to be the Shamash, so they stood there being the Shamash next to our giant Shamash on the wall, which has the names of all different helpers, like we did tonight. We kind of came up and brainstormed all sorts of names, and then we made cards for all those people, which we're going to do shortly. And then we passed the light from Shamash to Shamash very carefully. And check this out. This is the only picture that exists of the Shamash finally getting its own night to shine like my kids wanted when I first started talking about this. This night where we finally, after all, when we're about to put the menorah away, we say, hold on, leave the menorah out for one last night and just light the Shamash. Give it its due and say thank you to it and to those who help you. And that's what the Ninth Night is all about. And so I'm happy to report that this idea is catching on. A lot of people are talking about Ninth Night and doing this crazy thing on the radio. and reading about it in the newspaper. And lots of people are passing the word along and saying, let's do this. Let's have a ninth night this year. And so in order to do that, all you have to do is you keep your menorah out. For people who don't have a menorah, they can just, light a candle. You don't even need the menorah. You actually just need to light one candle, although having a menorah or Hanukkah is obviously a very helpful thing because you can elevate your shamash in its position of honor and you light it. And I encourage you to do so. And then you make cards for those who are in your life who deserve that special thanks. And so I was thinking that we could make some cards together. And I have these cards. I don't know if you guys have this. This is downloadable on my website. If you don't, you can just use a piece of paper. But I will show you what you can get, and I can put it in the chat as well if you need it. Because this is something you can get on my website. It is a piece of paper, okay? And, I see some of you have it. Okay, some people have it. If you don't worry. You do not need it this second. You can take a regular piece of paper, or you can just follow along at home. What we're going to do if you have it is you're going to fold it once in half like this. And you're going to fold it twice. And you're going to look and you're going to say, Erica, this is a very strange card because the cover is blank, completely blank. But there's a reason for that. So the cover is blank and inside there's room for your special message, but there's also a message that I put inside. And the message I put is, during Hanukkah, the Shamash candle gives light to all the other candles. We are thankful to you because, like the Shamash candle, your light helps to brighten our days. And then you can draw a picture on the cover like this. This is my Super Shamash candle that you see. You can put it on the cover or anything you want to draw. And then on the inside, you can put your message. So for example, you could write, to first responders, thanks for all you do every day. And then you could drop that off at the firehouse or at a hospital or at a nursing home or anywhere in your community where there are people who are taking care of other people. Or you could make a special one for someone in your life, like a grandma or a grandpa. So if I were going to make one right now, and if you guys want to, you can make them with me at home, so go ahead, grab your markers and crayons and stuff and make them with me. But who should I draw? What should I draw on the cover? If I'm going to make a super something, what should I make? Something Hanukkah-y. What do you guys think? You want to maybe put them in the chat? I see Alex and Jana have a hand up. You guys want to unmute? Tell us what you think.
A menorah.
A menorah, a super menorah?
Yes.
Let's do
a big one.
Okay. Let's do a super menorah. Okay. Pen. Okay, it's going to have 9 branches, as we know. It needs to have the super shamash. It needs to have a face and arms. And it needs to have a cape because it is super. Okay. It looks a little bit like a moose, but if you will excuse that, this is my super menorah. Super menorah flying through the air to help other people. Da, da, da. All right, thank you. Oh, gelt and a dreidel. Okay, someone has suggested gelt and a dreidel and latkes and Maccabees. I can do this. I can do all this. All right, hang on. I'm going to need a lot of cards. And the other thing you can do, just so you know, is you can tape, if you have candles left over at the end of Hanukkah, tape a candle inside. Because that way it sort of gets the message across that, like, you are the Shamash. Okay. And again, draw with me if you'd like. Draw with me at home. I see someone in the Kipling house who's holding something up to show us. You want to unmute and tell us? You're waving. Unmute if you'd like to tell
I
us.
just wanted to show you inspiration.
Thank you. I'm glad you shared with us. Thumbs up. That is very cool. This is a lot of fun. I feel like I get to visit so many different homes. Okay, wait. I got drawings to do. Okay. So, yes, in the chat, you will see the link for getting these card template. Okay, I'm going to make a latke, and I have to do Maccabees and gelt and a dreidel. I'm on it. Latke. Okay. Now, I will say, if you want to see some great looking latkes, my friend Alan Silverberg did the book Meet the Latkes. That is a funny book. I don't know if you guys know that one, but that is also a very good Hanukkah book, and it has lots of latkes in it. Okay, this is my super latke. Super latke! Ready to fly into sour cream and applesauce tonight. Woo, super lacquer. Yeah, I'm on it. Okay, this might be why they don't let me illustrate my own books, but I'm pretty proud of it. Okay, now we got to do dreidel and gelt. Okay. See if I can do some groovy looking gelt. Okay. All right. Okay, we have super dreidel spinning, and he's got his like like sort of like Batman and Robin. He's got his like Gelt brothers who are like hanging in there with him. One is wearing glasses. Yep. Sidekick Gelt. Yes. Israeli flag. You guys these are challenges. I'm up to this. I think I can do this. Okay, Let's see, Israeli flag. All right. Need to get a blue pen for that. And I need some Maccabees. Maccabees. What do Maccabees look like? Can someone draw a Maccabee and show me? I'm going to need to know what the Maccabees look like. Who can unmute and tell me what the Maccabees should look like? Marie and Arbel, do you guys want to explain to me? And maybe what would that, if you were going to draw a Maccabee, what would they look like?
Well, maybe my Maccabee would have a cape and a shield and a sword in his hands.
Good. Okay.
My teacher told me that there's pictures of lions on their shields.
Oh, that's so helpful. Thank you for that important detail, lions on the shield. Okay. And yeah, Ellen, Noam, do you guys have additional details that would help my picture?
Okay, so I think that you should like put like, cause in this picture, you should like put like you should put you should put like the Judah, like you should put multiple people because there's multiple people in the army.
Yes, that is a good point.
Like Judah Maccabee and all of those stuff. You should maybe put a Torah and
Okay. Good.
Torah on it and all that.
Good. Okay. So, okay. Let's see. Okay.
All of you Temple Emmanuel people, stop being so silly.
I like these excellent silly suggestions. Also, I like, okay, so what I've done is, let's see, we'll have to give him a cape. Everybody needs a cape tonight, including Judah Maccabee. Okay, so Judah Maccabee, this is the first and only time I've drawn Judah Maccabee. Judah Maccabee has his lion shield. I'm trying to hold this up so you guys can see. And he has a sword, and he's looking up at the big giant armies that he has to face, and he's thinking like, uh-oh. Because it's just him and a couple of his Maccabee friends, and they are kind of outnumbered, and this is going to be a very difficult struggle. And he's wearing tivas, as you can see, and that's going to be really difficult to fight in. But he has his cape, and he's feeling like he's going to just give it a try and see what happens. And we all know that the story turns out pretty well for him, even though he's really looking a little overpowered and struggly. So, thank you. Oh my goodness, the Kipling family gives me a lot of thumbs up. Thank you, Kiplings. I really appreciate it. Excellent. I'm getting Lila is clapping. Thank you. Yeah, I'll get thumbs. You guys, you are my Shamash tonight. You are all these people encouraging me for my art. I really appreciate it. You guys are the Shamash to me. You are shining your light onto me. So I really do appreciate it. Oh yeah. So anyone want to show me their drawing? Anyone have a good drawing that they can share? And if you, I see a very nice looking menorah at the Harrell family house. You guys want to show that? You can unmute and tell us what you got going on.
Yours. Hold on.
Oh, very nice.
Shamash has a cape. And he's writing
It's
Todah.
It's Todah. It's beautiful. The Shamash with its cape and Todah and a dreidel. That's a fantastic card. Nicely done. This is what I'm talking about. So, okay, so who's with me? Who's going to do Ninth Night of Hanukkah, you guys? Are we all going to do it? All right, I'm seeing some hands up. Because, I mean, think about it. Like, all it takes is keeping the menorah out for one more night. If you want more latkes, you can make more latkes. If you want more jelly donuts, you've got an extra day. Extra day to eat gelt. I could eat gelt every day of the year pretty much. So I like the idea of that. And you have a day in which you can make a list of all these people that you want to say thank you to and really, like, put it out there for them. I have all sorts of people. You know what I like to think about also is the helpers that we don't necessarily like see all that much. Like every morning when I get up, I go outside and there's this newspaper on my front walk. And it was delivered magically by someone who got up earlier than I do. I want to thank the person who delivers my newspaper, and I want to thank the person who takes my garbage away. These are helpers in my life that I don't see or talk to very often, but they make my life easier through the things that they do. So I want us all to see the helpers around us and notice them and appreciate them on Shamash night and all the time. So
there's even an invisible person helping this Zoom run smoothly. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, his name is Jake. Should we just like give him a little cheer right now? He can't, if we're muted, he can't really hear us, but we can do like kind of silent cheering for Jake. Ready? Everyone go, woo for Jake. Jake is making this Zoom happen and we're all really happy. Woo, woo, woo. Super Jake. That was great. Thank you, Rabbi, for reminding us. Excellent. Well, I think that at this point, if there are any questions, I'm happy to take them, and then we might do some candle lighting and singing. But let's hear questions. Any questions, anyone? Okay. So, Omri and Arbel have a hand up. Tell me your questions.
I just wanted to show you my little card. So I made a Maccabee with sort of a beard there, I think.
Okay, hold it up. Oh, hold it a little higher. Oh, we see it. That is excellent. Oh, and
then I wrote in a bubble, get him, which was funny. And then I wrote inside, I think you are nice. So I wrote that.
Yeah.
My dad works in a hospital, so I'm gonna ask him if he could bring it there so he can bring it to the hospital.
I love that. High five. That's such a great idea. Bring that to the hospital. Thank you. Okay, and Yael and Noam have a hand up. Do you guys have a question? Oops, I think you're still muted, so let's unmute or type so I can. There we go.
Okay, Mom, you say
what?
You say.
Oh my God! Hi, this is Yael's mom. Hi.
Hi, Yael's mom.
Hi, Nechama. Nice to meet you. And I used to live in DC.
Oh, cool.
A long time ago. Yael has two brothers, and one has autism. So this is such an incredible thing for us to try in Eitan's special needs community. About, you know what I mean? About finding the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The strength. So this is a great thing that I'm going to try to bring to the other chapters of the world of his.
Thank you so much.
It's a great.
I was going to say, if any of the grown-ups want to connect with me on social media, I have all sorts of stuff, and you can also go to my website, and there are great resources that you can use, and I love the idea of using this to connect with the autism community. So thank you.
Yeah, because he sees things literally very differently.
Yeah.
So this is a really like a more tangible way for a kid who needs the tangibility of it to make a little bit more sense. So thank you so much.
I'm so honored by that. Thank you for sharing that. Other questions? Ella and Jack, you guys have a question?
Just opened up this.
So, what's your website called?
Good question. I'm going to ask Super Jake to put it in the chat, but it's ericaperl.com. Basically just my first name, my last name.com. And as you can see, my last name has no A in it, so it's just Perl. So it's just ERICAPERL.com. And then someone is asking for my Twitter account, which, like my Instagram account, is just Erica Perl. No, nothing else, just my first name, last name. So it's at Erica Perl for social media stuff. Other questions? Anyone? Happy to answer them. The other thing is that if you, for some reason, think of a question later and you want to reach out to me, you can do it through my website. I'm always happy to answer questions from anybody, anytime. Just send them my way. But I know we have to get on to candle lighting. So if there are no more questions, I will happily turn the floor over to Rabbi Mark. And I will thank you all so much for coming tonight. And I wish you a very happy Hanukkah all 9 nights.
Thank you so much, Erica. I think the Ninth Night of Hanukkah is a beautiful idea. It's a wonderful idea. And it's especially wonderful right now because there are so many people helping us get through this difficult time. And their jobs and the hard work they're putting in is so far above and beyond anything they've been asked to put in before, and beyond their job descriptions and more than the number of hours they're actually paid for. It's an incredible way for us to demonstrate our gratitude to them and to our parents. So thank you so much, Erica, and for bringing this beautiful idea to our community. So in just a minute, we're gonna light our candles. And the way we do that, can you guys see my candles? They're down here. Okay, so we put our candles into our Hanukkah menorah from right to left. So this would be the first night, second night, third night, fourth night, fifth night, sixth night. Eventually maybe ninth night. That's the Shamash in the middle. The way I'm gonna light it is with the newest night first, and you're gonna be looking at me like you're looking at me through a window. Okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do is light the Shamash in the middle, which is the candle we've been talking about all of this time. And maybe my smoke alarm will go off, and maybe it won't. We'll find out. I haven't lit this many candles in here yet. So there's both light and darkness in our lives now and always. Without the light, there would be nothing that we could call darkness. And without darkness, there would be nothing that we could call light. So tonight, as always, we are mindful that it is what it is. There are difficult days ahead, as well as better days ahead. We light each candle and we watch as it dwindles, as it burns all the way down, to remind ourselves that nothing lasts forever, neither the darkness nor the light. And in the meantime, we're grateful for the Shamashim who are giving their all to help us along the way. So we're going to begin, I have a few songs, but we're going to begin with the blessings for lighting the menorah. So I've already lit the Shamash. So if you have a Shamash, it is the 6th night tonight. So you should have 6 candles plus your Shamash in the middle or your Shamash on the side. So I see Nofar's candles, I see the Lotman's candles, I see Rita's candles, I see the Kipling's candles, I see Alexandria's candles. I see lots of candles. That's awesome. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav וציוונו להדליק נר של חנוכה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. We light our candles. Who's ready for Mao's Tzur? Put your hands up if you're ready for Mao's Tzur. Give me a thumbs up. Okay. Mao's Tzur Yeshuati Lechana Elishabeya Tikon Beit Tefilati V'shanta Dan Ezabeya Li'et Achinem Atbeya Mitzrayim Nabeya Az Egmor Bashir Mizmor Chanukah Mizbeach Az Egmor Bashir Mizmor Chanukah Mizbeach Rock of ages let our soul praise your saving power. You among our enemies sheltered us like a tower. Furious they assailed us, but your armor veiled us, and your word broke. Their sword doesn't rhyme. When our own strength failed us, and your word broke their sword. When our own strength failed us. And there's one more traditional American Hanukkah song that kind of just needs singing. Who here works in a place that isn't Jewish or goes to a school that isn't a Jewish school? I think there must be a few people here. So sometimes it's difficult to be a Jew around this time of year. I see a hand. Sometimes it's difficult to be Jewish around this time of year. So somebody once wrote a song to try to deal with that. This is the PG version. Maybe I should put this on. And slightly updated. Put on your yarmulke. It's time for Hanukkah. It's so much Hanukkah to celebrate Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Instead of one day of presents, we get 8 crazy nights. When you feel like the only kid in town without a Christmas tree, Here's some people who are Jewish, just like Jesus, you and me. Joseph Gordon-Levitt enjoys eating kugel. So did Stanley and the guys who founded Google. We've got Scarlett Johansson and Marvel's Black Widow, not to mention Iron Man, a real superhero. Put on your yarmulke, it's time for Hanukkah. Harry Potter and his magica celebrate Hanukkah. Stephen Miller. Yep, he's a Jew. Great-grandson of refugees, just like me and you. She may not be Jewish, but our next VP is Kamala. Her husband Doug is. The kids call her Mamala. Put on your yarmulke, it's time for Hanukkah. I hope I get a harmonica on this lovely, 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 happy Hanukkah. Okay. So we have some special people who are going to share some special memories about Hanukkah menorahs that have been really important in their family. I believe first up we have Patty and Herm Shalansky sharing about their Hanukkah menorah. There we go.
Hi.
Hey there.
So it's supposed to be Herm sharing the menorah, but we just blew a fuse and the refrigerator's not working. So here I am. This menorah we bought right before we got married in La Jolla, California. And here it is. You want to tell the story?
Okay. So we were really enthused about this because it's all hand-blown glass and it was very unique. And when we first bought it, it had little glass cups that would fit inside here, and you would fill this with oil, and then you would have a wick that would burn it. Well, our very first Hanukkah, where we had lots of friends over to celebrate with us, we hadn't test-driven this menorah yet. And so when we had too much wick that came out, and we lit them, and we had huge columns of smoke and fire that came up the side of our wall above the fireplace, which is in a very brand new house, which we had just moved into. But we got it under control, didn't burn the house down, and we had a wonderful Hanukkah night. And so this has always been one of our most precious memories of Hanukkah. And this has moved with us over 11 times when we were in the Navy. So you can imagine being this fragile and pure glass, it's actually survived so long for over 34 years. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Herm. That's an incredible story, and it's great to know that those people who pack for the Navy are really so careful with all of those things that they pack for us.
Yeah. So much is broken, but not this. So luckily, we've been lucky.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Herm and Patty. Next, we have up Arlene Kaufman. You're still muted. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It's good to be here. My husband, Ron, is here too, and he's part of the story, so I'm going to have him move over just a little bit, stick his head in. So Erica Perl talked about being a helper, and one time, many years ago, Ron was helping his friend Morris move into a new apartment, and they worked very hard. And Morris decided that he wanted to give Ron a present for being such a good helper. And Morris was an antique nut, and he would buy all kinds of antiques. And one day he bought a whole sack of Chanukiot, a whole sack. And when he wanted to thank people, he would give them a Chanukiah. And he said to us, I would love for you to have this Chanukiah, but there's one problem. There's something missing. It doesn't have a Shamash. So Erica Perl talked about the special day to celebrate the Shamash, and this Chanukiah didn't have a Shamash. Well, we had just started collecting Chanukiot. We put it all out anyway. We said it's beautiful, whether it has a Shamash or not. We'd really like to keep it. That was in the beginning when our collection was very small. Now we have almost 50, but that was when our collection was very small. And we were living in Virginia, and Ron's parents were living in New York, and they came to visit us. My father-in-law looked and he said, that Chanukiah looks very, very familiar. I think we have the same one at home. And I didn't think anything about it. Months and months go by. We go to New York to visit them. And my father-in-law looks over to me and says, look what I have. I have an extra Shamash. A holder? Where did you get that? I don't know. I had an extra holder. I'm like, okay, we'll take it home and try it. And guess what? It fit perfectly. And that's the story of how the Chanukiah in Virginia and the Shamash holder from New York got together and made a whole Chanukiah that we now can use. That's our Hanukkah miracle in our house.
Thank you so much, Aline. That's a really, really beautiful story. The only thing special about this Hanukkah is we have some people who want to share a story. Omri and Arbel, you want to share a story quickly about a Hanukkah, special Hanukkah? Is that what it's about?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So this is my grandma's Hanukkah, and it was passed down from place to place, and now it's in our family. It's my mom's, and it actually does music. So when we do the prayers, we turn on the music, and then we sing one of the Hanukkah songs. We can put it on now. So usually we can show stuff like that.
Wow, it's playing Mao's Tzur. It's playing Rock of Ages. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Omri and Arbel. So this particular Hanukkah that I'm using, I got this Hanukkah for my bar mitzvah, and this is the very first year I have ever used it, which is a little bit weird, but because my bar mitzvah was a little while ago, but I'm glad that I'm finally using it. So the very next thing we have up is a really, really exciting game of Kahoot. Who's played Kahoot before? Hands up. Who's played Kahoot? Who's played Kahoot? Now, I really, really want to play, but my devices have all been disabled. Oh, no, maybe I can play from my browser. I'm not sure. Kahoot is a trivia game that Sierra will explain how to play. Sierra is going to be the what's the word?
The MC.
The MC, the lady of the trivia.
Hi everybody. I was going to run away to my bedroom to do this part, but I have two kids with me who also really want to play, so they said I can't run away. So they're supposed to be quiet during this, but they're not. I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to share my screen. It pops up. You're going to see a code. So you can either, if you already have the Kahoot app because you played this, maybe you played it at school or you played it with like family trivia nights, you can use that. And if you cannot use your Kahoot app, then you can go into your web browser and the website will also be on the screen that you'll see. So it's kahoot.it. So I'm going to share my screen now. And we do have winners for the top three. We have prizes, for the top three winners. So make sure that whenever you create your name, you use your real name so I know who you are and I can find you. All right. So there's your code. The pin is 5107178. So you can type that in. So you can do it at the Kahoot app or at kahoot.it. So 5107178. All right, what's your name? We're going to give everybody a few minutes to join. Adults, everybody is welcome to join. Everybody should please join. I see Jonah, Cass, and Alex, the Kiplings, Carrie, Renoa, Molly. Grayson, are you playing on Daddy's phone? Oh, we have cousin David, Baby Yoda. That's not a real name. We all know who Baby Yoda is, so. Charles. Alex, patience. Ellen says, let's start the game already. We'll give everybody just a couple more minutes to join in. Grayson, Ella, and Jack, you joined. Rockstar, also not your real name, but okay. All right, I'm gonna give it just like 30 more seconds. So you're going to go to www.kahoot.it, or you're going to use the Kahoot app and enter the game pin 5107178. That's positive Patty. Renoa pointed out positive P, and she wanted to know who it is. That's Patty. All right. There, who's that? I see Brayden. Brayden, you made it in. Great. Omri and Arbel, have you joined? Are you in? Are you in the game? I want to just make sure that all the kids who wanted to join are in. Okay, we're gonna get started. Wave your arms at me if you need a moment, so I know. I'm looking through. Okay, we're waiting. Okay, good. Omri, are you? I see Nazar. Renoa is reading my text messages and she just said, Herm is a rock star. Herm is a rock star. Good job, Herm. My children love Herm Schlantz, so they were excited to see you tonight. All right, I think Omri and Arbel, did you all get in? I'm looking for your faces. I only see your couch. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Is everybody ready? Oh, wait, I see a dad. The dad is helping. So while we're waiting, I can tell you all that we have been looking for the perfect Hanukkah since I got married. And we had one that was made of nuts and bolts, actually. It was made of scrap metal. Didn't love that one. The kids each have one. Renoa has one with cupcakes, and Grayson has one with balls. They love those, but we're still looking for our perfect Hanukkah. So to see that Patty and Herm and Aileen and Ron have a whole Hanukkah collection makes me feel that I'm not pressured to find the perfect one. I can just get as many as I want. That's great. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I see the Horos have joined. All right. Okay, this is all Hanukkah. Now you're going to be correct and fast. Question 1. What does the word Hanukkah mean? Loyalty, dedication, or independence? All right, let's see. It means dedication. Thank you, Grayson. Jonah, you are in the lead, followed by Alex and then Braden. So remember, if you're like, wait a second, I got that right. How are the people ahead of me? Because that's correct and how fast you are. So you have to be right and you have to be speedy. All right, next. What type of oil is used for the menorah? Canola oil, coconut oil, olive oil, or peanut oil? The red is canola, blue for coconut, yellow for olive, and green for peanut. And time's up, and the correct answer is olive oil. Let's see. Oh, Molly and Baby Yoda are moving on up. Jonah Cass, you're still in the lead. It's anybody's game. Hanukkah is also commonly known as the festival of lights, freedom, miracles, or independence. Lights, freedom, miracles, or independence. All right, 9 seconds left to get your answers in. The correct answer is lights. Oh, Harry is on fire. That means you got a lot row. Three correct in a row. Jonah, you're still in the lead. You're too fast for us. Molly, you're in second, and Baby Yoda, you're still in third. On which day does Hanukkah start every year? The 2nd of Tevet, the 25th of Kislev, 25th of Elul, or 2nd of Hadar? So these questions do get harder, and if you're a younger child, don't worry about having to ask your parents. Go ahead and get help. All right, let's see. 14 answers in. Is 5 seconds left. And the correct answer is 25th of Kislev. All right, let's see. Oh, Baby Yoda took the lead. Jonah, you're in second place, and Molly, you're back in third. Alex, you're moving up quickly. It says 5 players just hit answer streak 3. What is the number of blessings said on the first night of Hanukkah? 1 blessing, 2, 3, or 4? So this is on the first night of Hanukkah. So think about how many we said tonight, and that may give you a little bit of a clue. If anybody's looking for some pointers, Alex is giving some clues in the chat, helping people out. 3. 3 is the correct answer. Yes. And Jonah is back in the lead, followed by Molly, and then Alex is coming close in third. All right, number 6. What is the name of the spinning toy we play with during Hanukkah? Gelt, Menorah, Sufganiya, or dreidel? Yeah, did I hit fast? All right, Gelt, Menorah, Sufganiya, and dreidel. All of them are extremely important to Hanukkah. And the correct answer is dreidel. Here, raise your hand if you played dreidel so far this Hanukkah. Patty. Oh, I see Ella and Jack have played dreidel. All right, let's see what's next. Jonah, you're still in the lead. We need to get this board to change. Somebody else needs to get faster. All right, how many candles are needed for all of Hanukkah? 48, 44, 50, 52. If you think about how many are in your box of candles usually comes with a couple of extra. All right, 10 seconds, 9. We have 5 seconds left. The correct answer is 44. That's a tricky one. I know, Jack, it's tricky. Jonah, you are on fire. Alex, you're in second place, and then Kiplings, you're starting to get into the top 3. Give yourself a pat on the back. There you go. All right. Next, we have, what are the gifts called that children traditionally receive? So traditionally, do you get clothes, dreidels, gelt, or shoes? These are just like that. 5 seconds left. That's correct, gelt, gold coins. Did anybody eat any gelt yet this Hanukkah? We did. Yes. All right, next up, let's see who's in the lead. Oh, Renoa is in 3rd place now. Good job, baby. Alex in 2nd, and Jonah, you are still in the lead. All right. Name the Hebrew warrior that's commemorated during Hanukkah. Judas Maccabeus, Antiochus IV, Moshe Rabbeinu, or Matisyahu? Yeah. 5 seconds left. That's right, Judas Maccabeus. All right, let's see who's in the lead. Renoa's on fire. Harry, you're on the board. Once again, Jonah, you're still in the lead, pretty far in the lead too. We all have to speed up so that we can catch up to Jonah. All right, which fried sweet food is mostly consumed on Hanukkah? Sufganiyah, matzah, latkes, or hamantashen? There's lots of fried food, but this is the sweet fried food, so don't let it fool you. I know, latkes fooled a lot of people here. I know, unless you like your latkes sweet. It was definitely the sufganiyah, which is also known as the jelly donut. All right, next. Oh, let's see. Oh, Molly. Molly moved up with that one. Jonah, you're still very, very far in the lead. Jonah, you must have like lightning fingers to be getting these so quickly. All right, according to the English lyrics of the dreidel song, what material is a dreidel made out of? Traditionally, there's many, many different ways to sing the song. Wood, clay, metal, or plastic? And the correct answer is clay. I know, but I know you could say plastic and it's been fantastic. Wood and it's spun just like it should. You could say it for any of them, right? All right. Oh, the Kiplings are on fire. And we have Jonah, you're still, look at that lead. I don't know. I think we may just all be working on 2nd and 3rd place now. Jonah has a pretty good, strong hold in that 1st place. All right. In history, when the Jew returned to purify the temple, how much oil did they find? 1 week's worth, 1 day's worth, 10 days worth, or 8 days worth? Let's see. We have 7 seconds left. And the answer was 1 day's worth. And the miracle was, it lasted 8 days. All right. Jonah, you're 10,000 points. Molly, Alex, Kipling, and Positive Patty is on the board. The customary location for the family menorah is where the family is gathered, on the mantle, on the main window, or on the dinner table. It's in the main window. Oh wait, everybody could see the lights. And the Kiplings moved up. Molly, you're in 3rd place. Alex and Positive P All right, 2 more questions left. Which direction do you light the menorah? From right to left or from left to right? We have 5 seconds left. From left to right is correct. Alex, you move back into third. Charles is on the board. Our last question. Who lit the first national menorah in the White House lawn? This is a challenge question. Let's see. President Ronald Reagan, President Richard Nixon, President John F. Kennedy, or President Jimmy Carter? We're out of time. And let's see. Oh, it is the correct answer. Did it? Did I miss it? You did. Okay. Molly, second place. The Kislings of third. And first place is Hanukkah. Yay! The runners-up were Alice and Positive P. So I know who you all are. I'm gonna stop my. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jake. See the magical Jake in the background that helps us make sure all the Zoom works out right. So I know who you all are. I'm gonna write that down before I forget it, and I will be emailing you or your parents about your prize tomorrow morning. You'll probably actually hear from Nafar, so Nafar will be the one to get the email. All right, congratulations. I hope you all had fun. I'm gonna pass it back to Rabbi Krause. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us for LATKEPALOOZA. It was wonderful to see all of you here. We're really grateful to author Erica Perl, who had to dash off in order to tell the story of the Ninth Night of Hanukkah and the Shamash to another group of people. And it's great that she is spreading this message of the Shamash, because it's really important that we all remember the helpers in our lives and the helpers that we can be. So maybe we should be asking ourselves, how can we help just a little bit better? How can we help a little bit better around the house? Can we tidy up after ourselves better? Can we use our inside voice instead of our outside voice inside? And in what ways can we show that we're grateful to our teachers, to the nurses and doctors, to the first responders, and to all of the people who are helping above and beyond at this time? We are really, really grateful to the United Jewish Federation of Tidewater for putting on this program, to the Lee and Bernard Jaffe Book Festival. We're especially grateful to Nofar and Sierra for organizing this event. Thank you so much. We're grateful to Jake for running the Zoom in the background. We are grateful to the people who shared all of their special Hanukkah menorahs with us. And so thank you so much for joining us. It's been wonderful to see everybody's faces, to see everybody's Hanukkah lights, and keep celebrating your Hanukkah and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening.